Hey y'all, it's Taylor from Tattooed Teacher Plans. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today is kind of an interesting day because I'm going to be digging a little bit deeper into my goals and how I goal plan. So specifically today, I'm going to focus on the transition from one month to the next. And this is the star of the show. This is my Moxie Life goal planner. I only use the goal planning sections in here. I do not use the weekly and the monthly pages because I have other planners for that I prefer. But this, for the goal planning, is amazing, and I swear by this thing. I'm really excited because they have a new product coming out soon in the fall, and it's going to be an A5 size of just the goal planning system. So I'm so excited to share that and the new planners when they come out because I love the company. I love the brand. I love the owner. The community is amazing, and this has literally changed my life. So, like I said, we're going to focus on the transition from one month to the next. So first, I'm going to do my reflection for the month of August. Then I'm going to work on my monthly goals for September, and then I'm going to go ahead and set up my weekly action items for the first week of September. So it's 3 things. The whole process takes me about an hour to do because I just sit and think and hash out things with myself and figure out my priorities and what I want to get done for that month. And the reflection part is really important. So let's dive into each of the different parts and see how to transition from one month to the next in this goal planner. So when it comes to goal planning, I've learned a couple of things over the past years, and specifically with this planner, because of the framework of it, goal planning and goal setting is about the process more than actually reaching your goals. Yes, that's what you want to do, but you learn so much along the way. You're always changing and adapting to your goals in your life and vice versa. And even though it is super hard, it's very rewarding in the end. And the thing that I love the most about the Moxie Life, I think, is all of the self-reflection that is built into this planner. So we're going to start there with the monthly reflections. And what I love about this little page is not only are the prompts already there for you, so you have some guidance, you're not like completely lost about what to write about, but also this helps you see what you can do better next month and what to focus on in the next month. So we're going to go through each of these questions. I'm going to kind of speed you through and talk about them as I write. I've got a couple of flare pens. These are my favorite to write in the Moxie Life lately. And I picked 2 colors, so I'm going to use the blue to finish up August, and I'm going to use this pretty purple color for the start of September. So I'm going to get started on my monthly reflections, and then I'll tell you what's going on as I work on it. So what I really like about the monthly reflections, which I've kind of already mentioned, is the guided prompts. These really let you focus on not only the positive things that happened this month, but also some of the negative things that you can maybe kind of shine a light on and work on the next month. So you start with your biggest wins, which I had some really good ones too. Like I lost a few pounds and gained some strength. Like that's what I want to do with my body. And I really did a good job this month on that. Then you have currently working and currently not working in my life. And I used the 3rd question there to kind of guide some things into the next month of things that I want to make a part of my goals. I also like the part what I learned this month. So just like last month, I can do hard things. And this month I can do even harder things. So we went back to school this month and I was really nervous about it, and it ended up being okay. And I can do it, and we can all do it. And it was just really empowering. And I also really like the improvements and adjustments section because you can pull these items straight from this page and throw them into your monthly goals for the next month. It's just really handy because it's all on this one page and you just organize all of your thoughts. And then I also like the kind of rating down at the bottom. So this month I gave myself a 7. And I thought it was a really good month, but I do have some room to grow, so I didn't want to go like too high with my scoring, and a 7 seemed just right. All right, so here are my monthly reflections all finished up. This definitely highlights some things that I want to work on in my monthly goals. So that's where we're headed next. Let's go to the September monthly goals. So my monthly goals are a place for me to just brain dump and start to organize my thoughts on what I want to do for the month. I do it in two ways. One, I write broad statements of things that I want to do, and these can be very abstract or they can be really, really specific things. So I like to have the broad statements along with the specific to-do items, just because I can refer to this every time that I work on my weekly action items, and I have both there, and they give me things to choose from and just things to tick off. Also, I like to refer to my yearly goals when I am working on my monthly goals. Here's the problem. 2020 has thrown kind of a hitch in my yearly goals, and I do look at them, but the way that I did it when I set it up, I definitely would do it differently next time. So here's my annual goals. I decided way back when I did my first assessment and my first annual goals that I was going to leave out some categories to focus on certain things, and that turned out to be the wrong decision. So we are adjusting. So I'm going to use all of the categories, and I'm just going to work from this month. So you don't have to start in January or July. You can start anytime and pick up from where you start. So that's what we're doing here. I have some ideas of what I want to put in here, but I'm really just going to work through the process, kind of like I did with the reflections, and I will kind of explain some things as I go. But this is where the real thinking happens. You reflect on a lot of things and you figure out, what do I need to get done this month, and what's best for me, what's best for my family, my health, everything. Every category gets its own considerations. So something that really helps me with that whole process, because it can feel a little daunting. I mean, this is completely open. This is a printable from the Moxie Life Facebook group, and you can get in there and you can find this. It's super helpful. So for each category, it gives you things to consider when you are writing out your goals. And these just like trigger things for me to think about. And I really love this. And I have it folded here because I keep it in the back pocket back here. So it's handy whenever I need it. But this is extremely helpful, and I highly recommend you checking out this printable. By the way, this is going to be in the new 2021 planners for next year. So it's going to be built into the planner. But until then, you have this in the Facebook group. So I'm going to work on my monthly goals. We're going to get this done, and then we'll work on the weekly goals. All right, so when I approach my monthly goals, I really like to focus on the two types of statements, broad and specific things. These monthly goals should be a guide to your month and what you want your month to look like. It's okay if you don't meet all of these goals, but it is nice to have about maybe 3 to 6 things in each category as a guide for your weekly action items. You can always move these to the next month if you need to, but seeing them all together and organized like this really gives you a big picture of what you want for your life for that month. And it gives you a direction for your month as well. So I just love the way that this is set up. So I usually look at my reflections and I read over them again, as you see right there. And I just continue to go back and forth and look at what I can take from my reflections and put into my monthly goals. I used to not use all the categories, and I realized over time that that was lazy and that I needed to do more for myself. And so I have, for the past couple of months, used all 8 categories, and I will continue to do that. And I will fix my annual goals when the time comes for 2021. But I just like to see everything all laid out. So when I'm building my action items for each week, I can refer to this spread and mark things off. Even in a minute, you'll hear me kind of mention that I kind of want to start using some check boxes on this list just to kind of keep track of what I'm getting done and what I still have left to do. And I think the hardest category for me is the physical environment one, and I don't really know why, but also the personal section. Those two I'm still really working on kind of fine-tuning a little bit, but I just love this page. So these are my quick lists that I can reference when I'm working on my weekly goals. I think next time I will do little check marks. I just completely forgot that I was going to try that this time, but I think it would be nice to have a little check mark or a check box that I can mark off whenever I am working on my weekly goals so that I know what I've done and what I haven't. So that's something I want to change in the future. Again, always adapting and changing as you go. So next up is the weekly goals. So we're going to go to that, but we're going to also reference this as we work on that spread. So for my weekly action items, I'm looking for things that I can do during the week to help meet my goals. Some of these things I will pull directly, and then some of them, these will support the goals. So what I like to do with the weekly action items is limit them to 1 to 3 things per category. That is manageable for me. You may be able to do more than that, or maybe you just need 1 or 2 things per category. Do whatever is best for you. Also, this changes weekly. So if I have a wide open week, like in the summertime when I'm off as a teacher, then I can do more. But during this is kind of the beginning of the school year, and I don't have as much time or energy. So I need to limit these items to a smaller list. Also, I know looking ahead that I'm going to be going out of town this weekend, so I'm also going to have some things on here that are going to be specific for that, such as my packing list for the trip that I have planned to see my parents. So things like that. These are actionable items that can help support your monthly goals. You should be looking back at your monthly goals as you are writing these. Now for me, I like to kind of brainstorm first and then write them down, just because I like it to be very clear and not quite as messy, but messy's good too. Do whatever works for you. This is your planner. These are your goals. Do what you need. So I am going to get started on my weekly action items, and I think I have at least one thing in every category. We'll see. We'll just see. So let's get these action items written down. So basically when I'm approaching my weekly action items, I'm looking for specific things from my monthly goals that I can accomplish, or I can look at my monthly goals, choose something, and then think of some actions I can take this week to make some progress on that goal or finish it up. Sometimes I will be working on the same monthly goal every single week of the month, and sometimes I don't even get it accomplished. It's all just a part of the process. I like how Darian from Darian Plans approaches her weekly action items. She thinks about how can I be a better person, or how can I do better in this category. So for instance, in the health category, how can I be healthier? Or in the family section that I'm working on here, how can I be a better sister? How can I be a better daughter? And I love that concept, and I really do think through those questions with myself as I'm working on these weekly action items. It really does guide me in the right direction when it comes to writing things down. So here are my weekly action items all finished up. I do feel like I'm heavy over here on this side, but I think it's because of my weekend trip and kind of prepping for that. And I'm trying to find balance with this week, doing one hard workout, pushing myself on that, but modifying my meal plan and creating my packing list and prepping for this family Zoom. I know I need to take my laptop with me so that we can do this. We're going to do something really fun, which is ask our grandparents, basically do an AMA with our grandparents, and we're going to record it on Zoom, and then we're going to post it on YouTube for all of our family to see. I think it's going to be really fun, and I can't wait to see what their answers are. But this feels like it's going to be a good week at school because it'll be a little bit shorter for me since I'm taking an afternoon off, but it's going to be a good week. I can feel it, and I know that it will be good because I have set up myself for that. I can't control everything, but I can control what I do and how I react to things. So if I can do everything in my power to have a good week, then it's going to be a good week. So I hope that you guys got some ideas from this and just kind of got a glimpse into my process on going from 1 month to the next. I think this process is very important to set up to have a good month. And it takes me about an hour to do this whole thing, but it's worth it. And I hope that you guys try it out and that you have a great September, and definitely let me know how it goes, this whole transitioning from August to September. I'm very curious. So leave me a comment. For sure, I would love to read them. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye.